So at the end of every year, dictionaries, like Oxford or Webster dictionaries, come out with a word of the year category, the one word that's sort of summarizing or capturing people's attention, that people most use appropriate word to describe the state of the world or state of the country of that year. For the year 2019, the dictionary.com, the online dictionary, announced its word of the year, and that word is existential. Existential. Now, the dictionary.com says the word is appropriate considering all the horrifying stuff that's occurred in 2019 that threatens the existence of democratic institutions, life, and even the planet itself. Existential. How did you like that one? It's kind of a depressing word. It's more depressing than 2018 word of the year, which was misinformation. Misinformation, which in 2017, I guess it's all coming from the United States. 2017 year of the word of the year was, just guess, fake news. So, what would be your choice of the word of the year? One word that it would somehow summarize or captures that you most often use, or you think that would describe the year for you in 2019? Uncertain. Anybody else? If you're having some hard time, you can just have some interaction with the person beside you. What would be one word that, I'll give you about 30 seconds. Yeah, from what is it? Confusion. And there's another confusion. Chaos. Huh? Head shaking. Okay. Anything else? Any other word? Or for your own personal life, what would be one word? That's much more positive there, isn't it? Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Well, that might be something, kind of a conversation follow-up later when we have coffee and tea, right? My word for, 2018, so my word would be connected to ministry, so would be much more connection to ministry. So the one word that would really, 2018, would be vision. We use the vision a lot. Remember, folks, right? Vision. Maybe some other words that of 2018 would be loneliness, all that word, right? And art, in positive ways. 2019, this year would be, in ministry-wise, would be experiment. We try to experiment as much as possible this year, right? So this year was experiment. So next year would be what? We'll have to wait one more year to actually find out. I have one word, but I will not tell you at this point. Maybe I'll tell you the beginning of next year what that word would be. So, okay, for today, since today is the third Sunday of Advent and the theme is joy, suggest that we use the word that's more appropriate to describe that word, joy. What would be the word to describe joy? When you are joyful, what do you say? How do you shout? Very typical Christians here. Is that what? Okay. Well, yeah. Hooray! Right? Yahoo!
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Yeah, hallelujah. Hosanna. How about the word woot? Now, in the year 2007, so that's more than 10 years ago, the Merriam-Webster Dictionary chose as the word of the year WO00T. a hybrid of letters and numbers used by online gamers as an exclamation of joy or triumph, top all other word that sums up the best in 2007. W00T was an ideal choice because it blends whimsy and a new technology. Well, I want to suggest that we use that word to describe how we feel about season of Advent today. Like a boot. Can we all do that? So let's just practice in my count. 1, 2, 3, and everybody will shout joy. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's good. Now it would be better if you had your fist pumping up in the air. Okay, are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Do it twice. 1, 2, 3. I know it's kind of sounds silly and sort of primitive, like monkey sound, like people will probably say, "What's going on in church?" They're all gone bananas over there, right? But just imagine you with your grandchildren at this Christmas. If they visit you during Christmas, as they open their presents and happy, you surprise them by shouting, "Hoot, hoot, hoot." They would think you are very cool grandparents, right? Wow, Grandpa, what's the matter? Joyful shout of woot woot echoing throughout the neighbors. And the neighbors probably say, "What's going on?" Joyful shout of woot woot when you defeat your opponents at your bridge competition or poker games. Now, I want to tell you a joke. Since today's theme is joy, what better way to make you feel joyful than telling you a good and harmless joke? If you think the joke is good, I'd like you to respond by shouting. You probably heard this. Maybe I shared this before, but maybe some of you not. So if you heard this, just wait until the punchline at the end. But you need to be a judge at the end. Okay, so it goes. There are 3 young friends attended seminary together and scattered to different parishes after being ordained into the priesthood. Father Callahan, Father O'Brien, and Father Scola. In a few years, the hierarchy of the church announced that Father Callahan was to be made a Monsignor and Father O'Brien was to become a Monsignor, but Father Scola still remained a simple priest. Years later, it was announced that Father Callahan was to be named bishop, and Father O'Brien was to become a bishop, but Father Scola still remained a simple priest. It was the ultimate crushing blow when years later, still, Father Callahan became a cardinal, and Father O'Brien became a cardinal, and poor Father Scola stayed as a small-town priest, a low man on the totem pole. Finally, he boasted courage and went to the powers that be. He protested. "I went to school with Callahan and O'Brien. We got the same grades, and they went on to great advances in the church. They went from Monsignor to bishop to cardinal, while I stayed as simple country priest." So the chair of the committee in charge was quite sympathetic. "We know, my son, that you have all the qualifications of the other 2, and you too were a candidate for high advancement for the church, perhaps even higher than the other 2. But we would never be able to call anyone Pope Scola." I know it's kind of late. Christmas is a joyful time of the year. We gotta make a joyful noise. The psalm writer says, "Yeah, ye people, make a joyful noise. It doesn't matter what language or how, just make a joyful noise." Hoot. Our Knox choir made a joyful noise this morning. Let's all celebrate and congratulate them. Hoot, hoot. Our scripture reading from Isaiah today says, "The desert and the parched land will be glad. The wilderness will rejoice and blossom like the crocus. It will burst into bloom. It will rejoice greatly and shout for joy." Hoot, hoot. And in today's other reading from lectionary reading from Luke chapter 1, verse 1, chapter 1, verses 46 to 55, Mary sings Mary's songs. My soul glorifies the Lord, and my spirit rejoices in God, my Savior, she says. Mary's song is a song of joy. The good news the angel Gabriel told her was a surprise, but a joyful surprise. The news brought joy to her soul, and this joyful news will soon become a reality for all people. Joy to the word. And very soon all the people will respond with joy. Make joyful sound, the joyful noise, especially to those who are most vulnerable and least capable, to those who are down and out, to those who are poor and hungry, humble and meek. Mary says, yes, God will fill the hungry with good things. The birth of Jesus is also the joyful news to those of us who are waiting in deep pain and in deep struggle. The prophet Isaiah, he says, the desert groans and awaits in the softening rains. The joy of God in the birth of Jesus meets us in our deepest needs like the softening rains in the desert. In those places where we are most desperate and least hopeful and capable, there is Jesus to fill us with a new breath of life and joy. Christmas is about God's joy came down in that tiny baby. So, how can we prepare for that joy of God? Well, by giving a gift of joy. Not by overspending and over-shopping, but giving a gift of joy. We got to give a gift of joy. And they don't necessarily need to be expensive gift. I mean, remember what I said about Christmas size in your life last Sunday, folks? Some of you remember that, right? If you don't remember, just watch the video through our church website. It's all there. Now, some of you probably felt that I was a bit harsh on Asians because I said something like those crazy rich Asian kids in shopping mall wasting thousands of dollars of their parents' money for a pair of pants. Well, just want to say my apology. Not their fault. It's actually, I should be harsh on those crazy rich Asian parents spoiling their kids like that. As a person who shared Asian ancestry, I feel kind of guilty. So let me challenge you folks, in this Christmas season, give a gift of joy by committing yourself to spend less and give more. Actually, I shouldn't be saying this to you since I didn't see any of your grandchildren there in the shopping mall. So the message is more toward Asians in Vancouver like me. I should be harsh on myself. Actually, today's message is more to me than anybody else. I need to be harsh on myself because I tend to be somewhat out of control when it comes to Christmas gift. Now, if you were to ask me, what do you want for Christmas, Richard? Could you ask me?
What do you want for Christmas?
You want to know? Well, if I were to let my shadow side out, I would insist to my wife Sue that I want and I deserve a brand new Apple Sports Watch 5. Costing like $1,000. Not that I need it, but I really want that. Or Apple iPhone 11 Pro. It's been more than 2 years since I got an iPhone 10. That 11 will cost anywhere between $5,000 to $1,000, I guess. So, not that I need it, but since it's Christmas, I think I deserve it. I really want that. So if I let my shadow side out, I would do it, right? But I wouldn't, right? If I let my shadow side run wild, I will be very selfish. But my light side would say, Richard, get a life, grow up, you will be a grandpa soon, right? So that's that. Do you know how much we spend during Christmas season? Way too much. At Christmas, children ages 2 to 14 influence hundreds of billions of dollars of adult spending. Americans, let's just look at Americans spent approximately $720 billion at Christmas in 2018. That's like an average of $1,500 per family spent at Christmas in 2018. After the holiday, people are heavily in debt, work for months to get out of debt. The average Canadian will spend $643 just on Christmas holiday gifts, according to a survey commissioned by Chartered Professional Accountants of Canada. Have you ever heard of that organization? The Retail Council of Canada pegged the cost slightly higher, $675 per family, per shopper. But all the other spending during Christmas, Canadians would spend similar to Americans. Of course, that would be pale compared to those crazy rich Asians in Vancouver. Enough. Spend less, give more. Spend less, give more. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't shop at all. Give a gift. It's about spending less money on ourselves and giving more to those who are really in need. I didn't speak with Sharon about this before I prepared this, and what's her name? What's the family name? Alzaza family needing, money. So it's just perfect. Perfect gift. Christmas is about God's love and joy came down in that tiny village. A child who loved and changed the world forever. Who became a man who loved people, so much so that he offered himself for the world. And let me tell you one more story. There's a story about this woman who was out for Christmas shopping with her 2 children. Spent many hours looking at row after row of toys and everything else imaginable. But after hours of hearing both her children asking for everything they saw on those many shelves, she finally made it to the elevators with her kids. She was feeling what so many of us feel during the holiday season time of the year. Overwhelming pressure to go to every party, taste all the holiday treats, get that perfect gift for every single person on the list, and make sure we respond to everyone who sent us a card. Finally, the elevator doors opened and there was already a crowd in the elevator. She pushed her way into the elevator and dragged her kids in with her and all the bags of stuff. When the doors closed, she couldn't take it anymore, and she stated, "Whoever started this whole Christmas thing should be found, strung up, and shot." From the back of the elevator, everyone heard a quiet, calm voice respond, "Don't worry, we already crucified him." And for the rest of the trip down the elevator, it was so quiet you could have heard a pin drop. Christmas was meant to be about love and about changing the world. And this Christmas and Christmas to come, we can still love and change the world. Give joy, spending less and give more. Instead of gift exchange, we can maybe exchange relational gifts. Our God is a relational God, isn't it? God gave relationally His Son, and we need to give a relational gift that can last a long time, like giving a gift of appreciation and encouragement. We don't appreciate enough, we don't encourage enough. Let's give a gift of encouragement and appreciation during this Christmas season. I'm sure there are many of you who need the words of encouragement more than any other gifts during this Christmas season. I know some of you are kind of feeling blue on this Christmas time, but just encourage and appreciate one another this Christmas. So commit to spend less and give more on this Christmas. Spend less on us and give more to those who are in need. Give a gift of joy, encouragement, and appreciation. And don't stop making that joyful